Hi, and welcome to the Empowered by Love Retreat Self-Empowerment to Create and Embody the New Consciousness. I am Yara Atlantica Miller. This is the soul name of Janet Miller. So here's a quick story of why my name has changed again, because I was Isla Sorona. Some of you might have heard that. But I am collecting all my soul aspects. And so it's very important for me to embody them, and all of us, if we're meant to, if we're called to the names in this very special incarnation, we're all collecting them in some way. This is my way. I was on a retreat, and it was with Ariella Indigo, and she said, just let it go, whatever comes through. And this name was right there in Atlantica. I woke up and that name was right in my, like right in my face. I couldn't believe it. So it's very powerful. It's connected to the ocean, of course, Atlantica, which I'm very connected to. And it's also connected to ocean and goddess and mermaids and the siren energy. So all that makes so much sense. And Atlantis. So it's very much a part of my past that I've been in one of my aspects. So very exciting to find that out recently. So this lifetime is totally shifting humanity into heart-centered living and creating a higher consciousness human. So one human who we are going to be the ones who embody their divine essence and integrate it into our human vessel. We are becoming homo luminous. And this is, how do we do this? This retreat will open us to new ways of being. A famous song, which kept coming through as I started to write this intro, of 1965, sung by Dionne Warwick and written by Burt Bacharach, said, "What the world needs now is love, sweet love. And that's the only thing that there's just too little of." Truer words could not be said right now. You know, our world is going through so many shifts. We are looking at different views coming in from all sides, all areas. People are being pushed to pick a side, and families and relationships are breaking up. We do need so much love right now. That's why I created the Empowered by Love Retreat, to take the time to feel what's in your heart. And it's a time to take a breath and gift yourself this time to reconnect with our hearts. Holiday season is revving up, and soon we will get swallowed up in the preparations and lots of doing. So right now is our time to be connected to our hearts and to remember the sweetness and the peace that that can bring us. So we have an amazing special guest today who I am so thrilled to have on this retreat with me. And welcome, Janelle Norman. Oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled.
Thank you so much, Yara.
Yeah, you're welcome. And let me tell you more about Janelle. Janelle Norman is a superstar Wonder Woman who supports her clients through transformational leadership, empowerment, wise parenting, and business strategy coaching. She is also an animal communicator and a behaviorist, a speaker, a host of the online series Pause and Effect. And she also is an entrepreneur, a founder of Nascent Phoenix and Essentially Janelle, and mother to three spectacular kids, a 20-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So she's really got the gamut there. I think you love children, Janelle, so you had to spread them out. So there's always one in your presence and in your life, huh?
You know, it is funny how that works. As a kid, I actually said I didn't want to have kids.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, and the best part is I realized I had this vision. I had this vision of animals and healing and supporting as a kid. And what I didn't realize is where I was to where I am now to create that, and everything in between. I could have never guessed.
Right. And this is the best part of this journey, is that we can, when we choose to step onto our path, it's a big journey. So, I mean, you know, this is one of my first questions, like you're saying. So tell us, who is Janelle Norman and who has she evolved into?
Oh, Janelle Norman. I am a loving, powerful, connected woman. And that means so much more than just words. I am a mother. I am here to show and remind everyone that love is literally all you need. It's
Absolutely.
when you come from love, your things open up. When you trust that love is enough, that trust creates the openness, the support that you've been looking for. And trusting that all of the things that you didn't like along the way were really there for your highest good and highest self. And I get to wake up every morning and be so grateful that I am surrounded by love from every creature that I encounter. And I created it all.
Yes, you did. Because we are creators of our reality. So see how you
We
own that.
are. We
You own
are.
that. I love that, because my other shows I do is Own Your Divine Light. So this is such a empowered by love. I mean, this is all we need to know now, is to be empowered by love. And what you're sharing is so perfect. So perfect. So the other part, I know you're an extremely busy woman, and your children are at different stages. So you're learning and experiencing everything with them during these challenging times. So I cannot imagine the emotions and feelings that have been shared amongst your family and the insights that has brought to you and your clients. So, you state that emotions and feelings are not wrong. So can you share with us what that means to you and why?
So I'm going to start by explaining a little bit about my journey. I started in animal behavior and communication because most people can understand that animals don't know what we're looking for until we tell them. And most people don't understand how to talk to animals. They use words. But we love our animals so much. And showing people that I know you love your dog so much. And did you know that this is actually what you're creating? Understanding, teaching them to understand with love allowed the relationship that they always wanted to have to just create itself. And at any point when they stopped and said, "Oh, I'm such a horrible person. I can't believe I did this." I didn't need to give the feedback. The animals give the feedback because their body language changes. When you're coming from love, there's no judgment. When you're coming from love, it's open and it's free and it's gentle.
So you're saying when you do something wrong, that the animals are looking at you without any judgment. So working with the animals, you experience unconditional love.
Well, wrong is a human construct.
Right.
So dogs, I work a lot with dogs. Cats, a lot of people think cats judge because they look at you. Cats give you direct feedback.
That's good. Yeah.
And they're not actually judging. They're just confused. Cats don't have judgment. Horses don't have judgment. Birds don't have judgment. They have energy. They have understanding. They have, I don't understand why your energy is off right now. You feel like you're hurting. I don't know how to help with that.
Right. Because they're so present in the moment. Yeah.
And humans tend to be very shut
emotional.
Off. We're taught as kids not to listen to those feelings. Yeah. We're taught as kids that if you can't calm yourself immediately, then there's something wrong with you. But those feelings mean that there isn't something wrong with you, that you are human and you are connected to the experience and the energy around you. So learning how to process those feelings and how to not only support yourself, but reach out for another being to support you, whether that's a human or an animal or a plant or an energetic being that, it's all trusting that it's trusting that you are enough as you are. That everything that you're feeling here, as I'm patting my chest, I realize it's not on the video.
Well, that's your heart.
Is true, even if it makes others uncomfortable. If you're speaking and being in your heart center, that is right. There is no wrong when that's where you're coming from. There's no hate in love. Hate is not the opposite of love. Hate is just hurt love. So,
right. Oh, that's good. I love that.
Creating a space for someone who is deep in hate, deep in distrust, to look at them and understand that they're hurting. To create the space for the child or the adults, you know, I hear you.
Yeah.
Because they haven't maybe ever been given that space before.
So true. So true, Janelle. Yeah, that's a powerful statement. Go ahead. Keep going.
By starting with the animals and opening up into the adults and realizing that every day I knew I appreciated having my kids spaced out, which was, again, divine, because it's not how I would have planned it.
Right.
And it's perfect. I can't imagine having kids right back to back, because separated, or this age spread out. One, you can always reason with one of them.
That's good.
Two, you get to appreciate. A lot of people get frustrated with teenagers. A lot of people get frustrated with preteens and with toddlers and infants. And the best part about having one at each stage is I miss my 20-year-old's 4-year-old moment. Like, I miss, I am excited for my 11-year-old's celebrations that we get to do in high school and in college, that I'm experiencing with my oldest, and I can see, so it's like the ability, I not only have the ability to see what is possible for the kids and love them where they're at, I get to show and others, other parents, other kids, other possibilities, that every stage is beautiful. And yeah, it can be absolutely frustrating when you walk in and everything is a mess, whether that was a dog or a child or a bird or a cat that created the mess. Pausing to realize, in 10 years, that is an awesome memory. That is a joyful, loving memory that brings tears to your eyes, helps negate the anger and frustration in the moment. That you can't be angry when you're coming from love. Those two they're not possible in the same space.
If you can stop yourself sometimes when you get angry and think about it and just stop, maybe you can pull back. Sometimes you just, for me, if I'm in that emotional moment, it's got to come out.
Well, and that's about not making yourself wrong either. You're not wrong for being angry. What happens a lot, so like, let's take my house. I just cleaned this room, and the house is, and now it's destroyed. The anger, frustration that comes up is not actually at the person that did it, or the being that did it. It's, I just did this. I already spent time on this. I don't want to do this again. Which is really what it is. Like, I wanted to do other things.
So don't do it.
It's a choice. Yeah.
It's a choice. You don't have to have it perfect. You can just let it be, and then let them clean it up. Just say, well, you guys did this, so it's your turn now. I did my turn.
Yes, and realizing that the mess was probably not made because I wanted to make a mess. They're probably having a blast.
Well, they are. They're playing.
So creating a space for the frustration and the anger to realize, wait, this is a trigger, because at some point somebody probably didn't come to me with, oh, wow, you guys looked like you had so much fun in here. Now we get to clean it up.
Oh, got it. I get what
I
you're going.
probably, and I not probably, I did experience, oh my goodness, what is wrong with you?
Oh, sure. Got it. Yeah. Well, that is the way
Which
we got
meant
it.
something was wrong with me because I wanted to have fun.
So true. Oh, wow.
So
That's
then
a
I
good
create,
connection.
yeah, which of course, my mom and the teachers and the caretakers, no one ever wants, is intending what is wrong with you to mean what is wrong with you.
Right.
They're genuinely just frustrated in the moment, but our words have
Mhm.
so much meaning.
Right.
So being able to not make myself wrong for having those emotions and realizing I'm learning, and then taking the breath.
Yeah.
And how would I like to be when I was a kid if I had done this? Or what was the intention of the dog? Oh, there's probably food at the bottom of the trash. Yay! Look at the food I
Oh
just
my
had.
goodness. Of course. Yeah.
Oh, it allows joy to come. It allows the fun to be there.
You can probably laugh now. You probably just start
Oh,
laughing, right?
all the
Because you're
time.
like, I don't want to get mad because I wanted this joy when I was a child, like you're saying. And it's like, I have to just laugh now because guess what? You get to experience it and do it your way.
It
You get
does.
to do it your way.
It
Yeah.
does.
Which
And
is
when you
great.
come from love, Janet, it's so much fun. Like you're on the road and somebody cuts you off and you're just like, you get to smile. Like, I love you so much. I hope you have a, you know, like
Exactly.
have a great day. And I get to send that energy forward because they're obviously not having a great day.
Right.
And whatever I can do to send them, you know, love and a possibility that they may not have had.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember the old way? You'd all be sticking up that third finger and going, you know, we'd all do it to each other. I mean, we did.
Yeah.
We were all angry.
Which,
and
it does. And it's really easy to match that energy. It's really easy to be like, hey, I got to defend myself here because I'm in, and it is challenging to trust and not get defensive. And is there something else that I can bring to this moment? Because it's not about me. It's this other person's not angry because of me. This other person's angry with what's going on with them. And so what can I bring to help support them?
Exactly. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. So you've allowed these feelings and emotions to come through for you. And also you're allowing your children to have a little more freedom than what you experienced. So what do you feel that this is doing for you? What is this doing for your voice? Like, how are you expressing yourself now?
I am expressing myself now, which is
right. So so you're more authentic. You're more authentic. You're more in your space. You're more empowered. You're more empowered at who you are.
You know, it's the funny thing about more. I either am empowered or I am not.
Okay.
I either, you know, I'm either moving forward or I'm not moving forward. The reality is it more is a judgment of whether or not I was doing it well enough.
That's good.
And yeah, I have grown so much. 2, 3, 5 years ago, when someone came to me with a judgment with, oh, Janelle, I love your hair. I don't know if that color looks good on you. I stopped the color. Done with the color. I hear that. Oh, there must be some. I literally stopped wearing pink and red for years because somebody told me it didn't look good on me.
Well, that's the people pleaser in us. That's that people pleaser.
It's
recognized. Yeah.
There's a point when we're young, when we accept feedback from the world because we're learning how to interact with it. So what am I? Who am I? What does that mean? And then as you get older, you get to reassess those things. At some point, I accepted that I was not worthy of education, that I was not worthy of being loved without it hurting, that
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't have a definition of supporting myself that was not exhausting.
Yes.
I
Well,
didn't have a definition of parenting that was loving, that didn't get mad when there was emotions.
right.
So then the process of opening up and
Feeling safe doing that.
learning how to feel safe.
Right.
Because the reason that we shift and we become what others say that we are or believe that we are is because we're attempting to be safe and create safety in our lives. And so we're not wrong for putting these barriers and barricades up around ourselves, because we're simply attempting to protect ourselves because it hurts. And no one has taught us how to process that or deal with this. So as we work
in a safe way, in a safe way, they haven't
in a safe way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so as we're working through them and we're like, oh, wait, I want to say right now, no, I don't want to go to the store. I really am tired and I want to lay down. Giving voice to that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not in a, is it okay? Could we just maybe go and do this later? I am not only sending a message, I'm speaking so much more than just my words. My body doesn't trust that I can stand up for myself. Mm-hmm. My whole being doesn't trust that I am going to listen to what it's been saying, what it is trying to say. That when I'm a kid, I am taught, I want to say this. Oh, nope. I feel this feeling and I say it out loud and I get in trouble. Okay, so when I feel this, I don't say it. I don't speak up. And then over time, I don't know when to speak up. Well, and even when I know I need to speak up, I don't know how to speak up.
Because you're shut down and you become invisible, because guess what? Invisible is safe.
And then I get mad at being invisible because I don't want to be invisible.
Right, right.
And it's a messy process learning to speak up, because normally when you're just starting the process, you get to connect in with the emotions, and the emotions that support you and using your voice are frustration and anger at first. Hey, I have had enough. I am important and I am loved and I am worthy of this. And then eventually, as your body starts to realize, and you start to realize, I am speaking up for myself. Maybe I am worthy of something else. Maybe, well, okay, what is else? What is something else? Then you start to create, and then you start to realize, oh, I have some pretty negative self-talk in my head. How did that get there? That's not my voice.
Right.
And then we shift and we adjust and create possibilities that we didn't know were there.
Well, you've also created some self-love there.
Which it is all about self-love. Because the reality of love, and this is, again, it's part of the journey. We start by saying you always want to give love away. Love yourself and give it away.
Yes and no.
And as a supporter, I am all about giving it away. I would give it away until I literally had no shoes.
Well, that's that's women.
Because I forgot to give to myself.
Right.
We don't teach. And so one of the big things that I teach my kids, and that I teach all of my clients and all of their kids and all of my animals, you give to yourself the same you would give to any other planet, any other human on the planet, any other being that you would encounter. If I have constant migraines because of a car accident.
Okay.
And when I encounter someone with a migraine that doesn't get them every day, or even a headache, it's a lot. It is a lot. Pain is your body is speaking up for something that you get to listen to. So being understanding for that person, and also understanding I created the migraines so that I understand what it is to be like in pain and still choose something other than to focus on the pain. I choose something other than being a victim to the message I chose to create for myself.
Yeah. So do you think the migraines, what do you think the migraines messages to you? Like you said, these are some of the things you're getting, that you're a victim, but what's the other one? What's the other reason? What's it doing for you? What happens to you when you have a migraine? What do you do? What's your...
So migraines, my daily constant migraine is pounding pressure. It's why I have rose-colored glasses.
Okay.
Because that helps remove a lot of the lights that's then stabbing into my brain.
So you're experiencing one like right now as you're talking?
Yes.
Really? Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
And it creates the opportunity daily for me to give my body space and my being space. I am working through a lot.
Okay.
And I get to love how much how committed I am. I get to love how much like genuine effort and energy my body is like, yes, I am all for this if this is where we're going. Okay. And without that message, the second I stop listening, I mean the second I stop listening to my authentic self, to my voice that I get to put out in this world, the migraine kicks up, the body kicks up, the pain kicks up. I will literally lose the ability to walk.
Wow. Well,
all of it to bring me back to, I forgot to love myself and I'm not listening.
So did you ever think of sitting with the migraine when it comes on in a quiet space and asking it, what have you got to tell me?
I have, when it's, yes. And that's,
so are you listening? So write it down, journal it. It's like stream of consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That. And the more you journal, the more you're going to get info because you're
absolutely.
Yeah. And you're doing that.
Okay. I am. Yes. Okay. I have, this is a 20-year migraine.
Right. Well, there's something about that. Yeah.
It is. And it
something
is.
You're creating is it's sort of like your escape hatch. I'm getting it. This is your escape hatch. When you are only allowed to have time to yourself when you're hurting.
Yes.
Yes,
which exactly.
You've created that now. So you can also uncreate that.
Exactly.
Because you are the creator of your reality.
And I have, Yara, I have so many doctors that told me 5 years ago, Janelle, this is as far as you can go. I couldn't walk most days.
Wow.
I didn't know my name half the time. I was still the provider for my family, so I still had to drive everywhere, but with navigation, it was, my brain was, my whole body started shutting down.
That's a bit of a sign that your body's telling you, Janelle.
Yeah.
What are you doing to us? What are you doing to us?
Like this is what like we're here. Like you get to listen. And it was, I finally one day I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, if I had somebody, even with my migraine and throwing up and not being able to see, if somebody else had a migraine, I waited on them hand and foot.
Sure, of course you did. Did anybody do that for you? Did
because
anyone do that for you, Janelle?
because I didn't feel I was worthy. So I would have never
Okay,
let someone do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
That makes
comes
sense.
back to the self-love.
Yes.
And
yes.
so this
So-
whole journey, the
Mhm.
reason I created the migraine, the reason I generated all of the car accidents, because what it was, what generated this migraine 20 years ago was I rolled I was not listening, and I rolled my vehicle going 70 miles an hour, not wearing a seatbelt.
Whoa.
And it landed upside down. Everything was shattered. There were literal knives and things in it that were all around, and I walked away.
Well, wow.
Walked away from that car accident. And then over time, within the next month, is when the migraine came in, because even after the car accident, and everyone's like, Janelle, you get to rest. My answer to them is nope. I am a mother, and I messed up my car, and I'm a horrible person because I did those things. So I have to keep going.
Yeah.
So
you punished yourself.
I did. But I realized, I thought it was empowering. So understanding that version of empowering, it's all about the definitions that we have underneath us. Are they truly a loving definition that we are pushing ourselves forward? Or are we going off of a definition that is not only not supportive, but it's detrimental to our long-term being and self?
Wow, that's powerful, Janelle. That's powerful that you just said that, because so many people, I never even thought of it that way. Wow. I mean, that's like so helpful for everyone listening to hear what you just said. So now that you so because you did not stop and rest, your body might have healed quicker. So you didn't allow it to heal because you weren't worthy of healing. And so you're still with the migraine. So there's still that old belief that you're not worthy of healing in there. This is something that you're going to, now that you're aware of it, now maybe you didn't hear it that way. Now I'm getting it that way. So I don't know if it's going to help you, but it's another way I'm getting it for you. So maybe this is what you have to say. Now, all right, I'm ready to heal this. You have to tell your headache, I'm ready to heal this. You make the decision, because you're in charge, honey. You are in charge of your body, because your body will listen to everything you say. And I understand that too. I have to do the same. I'm not saying I'm not perfect in any of this. So if we literally, if I say to myself, I'm really tired, oh my gosh, then your body just goes, okay, she wants to be tired, so let's just go and collapse and go to bed. And but if I say, I really don't want to be tired today, I really need things to do, and I'm excited about these things, then you get this energy, you get this new shift in your body. So your body's always listening to you. So if you say, so now you're saying, if my body only allows me to be quiet and in stillness when I have a migraine, there's other ways I can do this now. Maybe my body and I need to talk. Look, I love you, migraine. I've surrendered to you for years and years and years. And now I'm ready to let you go. I so appreciate the learning I've gotten from you. And maybe it's time that we let go of you and my body heals. I'm ready to heal. If you tell your body you're ready to heal, this is a commitment. Now you have to be ready. I can't tell you you're ready.
No.
You have to go into your heart and say, am I ready to let this go? Because it's something you've lived with for 20 years. So you're familiar with it and you're very comfortable with it.
Yeah, it's this funny thing about comfort, and the reason change is so hard. I 5 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, I didn't want to choose hard. It's not like I wanted to choose the migraine, and the migraine is what I know. So the reality of why the migraine is I get to
still
choose
here
is the patterns in my life. I have
allowed
and am still to this day finding little worms of unworthiness that have been built in.
Well, sure. Nobody's perfect.
Exactly. And I wasn't wrong for creating it, what I created.
No, you needed this as a journey.
Yes. Without any of those lessons, I would not be where I am today. And there, mind you, I have a lot. genuinely a lot of trauma and experiences that that are more than enough justification and reason. I keep doing this. Anytime I do this, these mean there's nothing wrong with a justification. The reason I choose to do something, or I chose that, is an excuse. It's a narrative. It's a story. There is no right or wrong story. It is just a story.
Right.
And I can choose to look at every single instance in my life from a different perspective. Does it mean that it was different? Does it mean that I all of a sudden am enjoyed being molested or raped?
No, of course not.
But I am grateful that I experienced, and this is where you get to listen to. I am very grateful that I experienced the healing and the lessons, so that I was and am able to create the space for others to learn lessons,
what we do.
Either in a different way, or learn that lesson,
well, what did they learn from those events? What did you learn from those events? Yeah, we learn and we share, and we have to experience this. And this is my understanding. Everything I've ever experienced, my clients come right behind me with that same experience coming up. Do you find that? Do you find
Absolutely, yeah. It's because everything is always perfect.
Right. It's in alignment. It
is. Even if
no concept, there's no
that way.
Yeah, there's no what's the word? Oh, I can't think of the word. Consequences. It's not consequences. There's no the word's gone out of my mind right now.
No, and I say this, and what
coincidences. That's the word.
Yeah, there's no coincidences. Right. And I say that understanding that right now in the world, the world is upside down. We are not leading with love. The systems that are in place are not designed to support and be loving. They're not. That's not what they were created for. It's not what we have sustained. It is not the current mass energy on the planet, and that doesn't mean it has to stay that way.
No, but we also are aware of what these energies are now, and so that we're in charge of changing it. We're in charge. It's the collective that's in charge of changing it.
Yeah, and it's
we used to be very dependent. We were actually, what's the word? Led down the path to believe that we had to give our power away.
Yeah.
To survive. So we gave our power away. And now we're realizing that this is not working, because the power we've given away, they just want to take every single bit of it. They want to take our breath. They want to take everything.
Well, and the reality of those that are in the taking, they are just as hurt. They don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
They're lost. They're like, I don't know what I'm doing, so I am just give me.
Well, they're stuck. They're stuck. They're very stuck.
And they're in fear. And when any animal, whether it is a dog, a horse, a cat, or a human, or a bird, or a lizard, or a fish, if something is fearful, it is going to respond in a very particular manner, which is defensive. It wants to live. It wants to survive. And if I need to defend myself, I am going to do so.
That makes so much. Yeah, it's exactly right. I agree. That's beautiful. It's a great insight. Yeah, it's so important. I do only send good energy to these beings now, because, you get angry, you get mad, you get hurt. You're like, oh, how could they do this to us? But if we send that energy, like you're saying, of unconditional love, and just knowing that they're also wounded people, wounded children that are still acting out their wounds.
Yeah, because no one told them.
Allow that forgiveness. I mean, it's probably people going, right, that's not going to happen. But, it takes a lot to get to this. I mean, I couldn't have gotten to this, like, even in January, to tell you the truth, even in May or June. But I can say this now, that I can send them love and unconditional love, knowing that they're coming from their wounds. And I think this is part of our shifting into the higher consciousness, because we're moving, like you say, living from our hearts, like you're living from your hearts. Look at everything from love.
Yeah, which is not, it is not the easy route. It genuinely is not, because when someone comes to you, it's not easy to not defend. Genuinely.
Of course. They're being fearful because they're controlled by something else as well.
Yeah.
It's a chain of command that, and all the things that you've grown up with, and I even grew up with, the belief system was huge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was a lot of controlling and a lot of worthlessness that it's so ingrained. It was so ingrained in us. So to break that and to shift it and to actually even be aware of it is a huge knowing and a huge awareness for you. It's a gift. It's a gift to see it, and it's a gift to be able to be willing to shift it and to change who you are because of it. You can't change anyone but yourself, right?
No, and there's a lot of generational trauma in the world. Our, parents were hurt, their parents were hurt, and
of course, yeah.
And there's getting back in connection with, there is another option than hurt. There is another option.
Right. Plus, we can also let go of those stories after a while. Like, letting go of those stories is huge for us. I mean, I keep hearing that from other people when I start getting into my story. Are you done with that story yet? It's so true. I'm like, how can you say that to me? I like this story. I'm familiar with this story. This is my story. But you know what? It's like, I'm done with that story. It doesn't matter anymore. It's old. It's past. I've learned a lot. I appreciate it. Just as you're seeing yours.
Yeah. I like to look at it as like giving, whenever I find myself in what I'm going to call a victim mode, where I'm feeling defensive, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling triggered.
Yep.
That deep breath, when I was growing up, it was like, take a deep breath and count to 10, which I was like, this doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Right.
If you're focusing on, I'm counting to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is of course what I was doing as a child.
So then you're internalizing it all, which is
absolutely,
it makes us sick when we do that.
It does. And it's every time that I'm like, I'm wrong, so I got to stuff this and stuff it down.
Well, yeah, now you're a bad person. You're a bad person.
I'm a bad person for doing this and feeling it. That 10 seconds is actually the 10 seconds. Okay, I am feeling angry because I'm hurt. What they said hurt my feelings. And the best thing to do in that moment, to give yourself the voice and say, I'm sorry, I just need a second. What you said really hurt. And I know, or I'm sure your intention was not to hurt my feelings, but it did. So I need a moment. And that not only gives a moment, the other person may be like, oh my gosh, I really am sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Or they may be like, oh, you're all in your feelings.
Yeah, you're such a victim. Right.
And you voice what comes up then. I hear that, and the feelings are still there. So if you can just give me a moment, because every time we just take it, every time we look at that and are like, in our heads go, oh, what a jerk move.
Yep.
That's, believe it or not,
do that all the time.
That's agreeing with them that I don't have the right to have that.
Because it's been ingrained in us because we've heard it so often. So it's hard to break the pattern.
It is. And feel safe. And then realize, this is the best thing about safety. Realize that is how you create safety.
Yeah.
That you
self-love. I mean,
self-love. Yes.
And safety is self-love.
Safety is self-love.
Because you're creating boundaries. You're creating healthy boundaries. I mean, safety could really be boundaries. I mean, that's the word that you really...
Which the funny thing about boundaries is simply telling people how to love you.
Exactly.
And how to interact with you.
Exactly.
Hey, I don't like it when that occurs. That hurts my feelings.
Right.
That makes me feel unsafe.
Right.
That's just simply giving them feedback. If they don't want to interact with you because you're being open with them, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're and self-love and worthiness, that takes trust of yourself and genuinely support from another being, whether that's an animal. Again, I keep saying
it does help you to know that you're loved. I mean, everyone loves to be loved. So of course, when someone loves you, it just lights you up. Even if it's an animal. That's why so many people that are alone have an animal, no matter where you are in the world. They like, because it's a contact, it's a being, and this being connects with you no matter what type of being it is. If you're breathing, we have a connection.
And we laugh, like humans laugh because they're like, oh, are you talking to your dog? Are you talking to your cat? First off, the animals can learn like up to like a 2-3-year-old level language most of the time. And they understand so much more than the words that we're using. We are genuinely communicating with the animals. They are genuinely responding back to us when we're hurting.
Absolutely. And a lot of animals take on people's sickness.
All
of
the dis-ease and acting out and misbehaviors and aggression that animals experience are 100% every time a message to the owner. They're taking what the owner is giving them and reflecting it back to them. This is what you're giving me. This is where you're hurting. And this is like if I am backed in a corner and I am lashing out, you are backed in a corner and lashing out. You're not giving yourself space.
Yeah.
How do we create space and love and openness, not only for your dog who is openly telling you, I am giving myself space, but they're showing that you also get to do that. You also get to love yourself enough to give that voice.
Yeah. That's the mirroring. I mean, we get mirrored by everybody. So here's a sentence. I have to say this because it's been said to me so many times, and you can don't get angry, but you can if you want. Everyone says, well, nobody can make you angry. Nobody can hurt you unless you allow it. And that's my sentence of the year that I just hate.
Well, the reality,
I don't really hate it because it's true.
It is.
Because it's another truth that once we get to the level of being able to express our emotions, and like you said, you have to express your emotions. So if someone hurts you and you say it, that's good, because you're actually saying, I'm hurting. So then you have to turn it around and go, okay, why is it hurting me? Why am I allowing this to hurt me? So then we have to go in and do the inner work of why is it hurting me? And that's the harder part, because we always go out. And now we have to go back in because, all right, you hurt me. You're telling me something's not right with me, but it's also in me because you're showing me. You're my mirror.
Well, and the reality. So let's, if we even just dig into that right there.
Yeah.
You are the mirror for them. They're not angry.
Of course.
And they didn't hurt you. So the reason no one can hurt you is because the only reason you're hurt is that at some point and at some level, you agree with something that they said.
Of course.
Even if you don't, especially if you don't like it.
Right. So why do we agree? Then we have to look at that. Where did that agreement come
from? And that
from?
goes down to those definitions that so long ago, you were figuring out how to interact with this world and somebody gave you that word, that definition, that box. And you just
belief, the old word of
belief. Yes.
Belief. Yes. About yourself that it's been ingrained in you. So now to unravel that belief, we get to say to ourselves, I don't have to own that anymore. I can choose not to.
I can choose a different,
Yeah.
And then realizing having an objective relationship with what you create. I'm going to give a little story. I was doing a workshop with another person, and we had everything planned out. And then, of course, in the moment, it went out the window.
Oh, yeah.
And we just flowed, and it was beautiful, and it was perfect.
That's so much better. Yeah.
It is. And I realized, one, we did great. Everything is even though I was concerned and worried, everything is always perfect when you're authentic in the moment. Yes.
You're authentic.
And two, I had allowed a conversation to stop me from setting up the support so that it wouldn't have derailed. All because, so back when we were planning, the other person was creating the ground rules and was going to be delivering it. So I had a story that if I asked her to share with me what she had written down, that she would believe I didn't trust her. And so I couldn't do that. And the reality is that she did not have that story. If I would have asked her for that, she would have given it to me. And then when everything went to pieces, I could have just jumped in and been like, and again, everything was perfect as it was. But being able to look and say, okay, how did I create this? Why did I create this outcome? Is to learn and see that I had created a space because I would have judged, I would have felt that she didn't trust me, which it wasn't a matter of not trusting. That would have been her supporting me. But it's learning how to receive support when you were never taught how to receive support. And that comes from asking. It comes from creating that weave of connection, love, and then knowing and trusting that the love you send out is going to be reflected back. It is, because that's what you're sending out.
Right. And then you're worthy to ask that question. I mean, worthiness is huge in our society. It's huge. All of us. We've been taught, because religion has taught us that we're unworthy.
It genuinely, I
mean, really, it has.
A lot. Some of the biggest breakthroughs for some of my most religious clients are around that religion does not mean you are not worthy of love. It actually means the exact opposite. And understanding the definitions of the words you're choosing to empower yourself with religion, with God, with the source, and how that is coming to you and what it's bringing out of you. All of that matters. If there is a definition of that is in your chosen religion, there's nothing wrong with your chosen religion. Every religion on the planet is based out of the idea of love and support and the higher being and connecting in with something greater than you. You are love. You are the source. All of them connect in with that thread of truth.
I'm going to tell the audience right now that we had a complete shutdown of my computer, and then it took us a while to reconnect. So we are back, and we were in the thick of such a great conversation. And I am with Janelle Norman. We're back with Janelle, and I can't remember where we left off at this point. Can you?
Honestly, we were talking about how there's a thread through the religions.
Oh, planet was good for you. That I'm glad. I'm thinking I'm not going to remember. Thank you. Excellent.
Yes. Well, and it's the thread of love, that thread of connection and love, that we are one. Now, there are a lot of human interpretations that get all muddled and put things on top of that, but the underlying message in all of them is love. So when you connect back into that, what we were talking about was the most challenging thing that I've seen from my clients and for those that I work with, when they're really religious, is identifying that their religion doesn't have to feel or create suppression. That underlying current and understanding of love, you get to shift and work and look through, okay, what definitions are there, and what is the intention of the creator? Like what is the intention behind this feeling, this energy that I'm getting, this message that I'm getting, as opposed to just shutting down. My religion told me I'm not to speak. Your religion probably said something more along the lines of, this is how you speak with respect and love, and then other things. And so learning that, okay, I'm going to remove that part, or I'm going to listen to this, but I'm going to choose to go to the intention of the creator and be in love. And I will use my voice within these contexts to create the safety and the change and the love that I know I'm here to create.
Well, that's one nice way to look at it. I like that. That's really nice. I mean, I find, well, religion to me was always a great foundation to know that there was something else besides us.
Yes.
that was important in the world.
Yes.
And that was the thing I found with religion, that we learned that we weren't all that is. I mean, although technically, you know, we are part of all that is, but yet we are a spark of it. We're a part of it, and we are
Yeah.
it. But we are it in physical reality, playing out. Our divine essence has come into physicality to allow the creator to have experiences.
Yes.
And this is the experience of love, joy, hate, misery, all of it, all of it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
no judgment because the source doesn't judge.
Nope.
And no
It's
matter
it's
how good
literally
or
what
bad
we
you
choose.
are, you know, what I'm understanding in this world now is there's no heaven or hell. There's just, there is your experience, and then you go back on the other side and you learn. You're in this learning journey. Even on the other side, we're still learning on the other side. So we go over the life we just had. What did we do that really worked, and what didn't work? And where do we need to go from here? What's our next level we want to get to? It's always just moving into higher lights of divinity, higher essences of source light. So it's all love, as you said. To me, source is love. It's
It
exactly
is.
the same.
Source is love, energy is love. And when you remove the and I phrase it as human muck, human the definitions, the interpretations that create heaviness on something that's so beautiful and light. All when you watch nature, one of the reasons just going out and being in nature is so amazing is
Absolutely.
no one is teaching the birds how to be birds. No one is teaching the deer how to be deer, or how to interact with the bears, or how to, you know, and just because a bear is present and bears could eat this doesn't mean that everybody freaks out. Like, they can communicate with each other the same way that we can communicate with each other. We, without the complication of words, when you just get back to the energy and the love, I can tell you if that bear is going to be coming after me for food, or whether it's protecting itself and it's afraid of what I'm creating.
That's
So
yep.
being present, being
in your heart, really.
in your heart, so that you can hear what is really occurring, and not in your head where you're afraid that you have to interpret everything that's around. You just get to trust your body, and energy and being already knows.
Right. And you know, it's so cool. We talked about bear. We started with bear.
We did.
I pulled the card for Janelle with my John Arthur Mosley Oracle deck spirit cards, and she got bear spirit. And bear spirit is boundaries, introspection, and home, and to find your home. And so the only thing I'm going to read about it, just to, because we read the whole thing before, and it's a little bit long, so I don't want to go there, but I just want to read what the other part was that it said, just so that the audience can hear. What is Bear Spirit telling us? I honor and take time for myself today. I give myself permission to feel and embrace my inner world. I hold strong boundaries and only allow supportive energy to enter my space. So the message that Bear Spirit said, so I'll give you that part. The message of Bear Spirit is never leave home looking for love, because love is your home. Just what Janelle has been saying. And Bear Spirit is the medicine to go within, to know yourself and realize fully what's in your heart. Honor yourself by spending time, quality time with yourself in your personal sanctuary. Then, when filled with the nurturing you've given yourself, you can take the peace you've cultivated out into the world. So that's again saying fill your cup. And when your cup is full, you can bring it out to the world. To honor yourself fully and be in the company of others at the same time will take setting good boundaries. This may mean speaking up to let others know you have them, and that's a big thing for everyone. In personal relationships, support each other with the balance of honoring this personal sanctuary time with being together. And of course, lots of bear hugs. So how perfect that we started with bear and we're ending with bear. So I just want to ask you, we're gonna wrap it up now, because it's been a while and we've had some interesting things happening during this, but it's been a really fantastic conversation, Janelle, and I hope people have gotten a lot from it, because the insights are really incredible that you've shared with us. Do you have any insights or final wishes or intentions for 2022? that you can see or hope for, or even that you want to share with the listeners, whatever you feel driven, whatever your heart is telling you.
My intention for 2022 is that everyone connects with and understands that their authentic self, the one that came onto this planet, the one that is deep inside all of us, is perfect exactly the way that we are. And we get to love ourselves to create the magic and the visions that we want.
Mm-hmm.
And when you stay in intention and love in 2022, we will be creating exactly what we are looking for.
Yeah. And we also magnetize that to us, right?
It does. Light energy, when you vibrate and you raise your own energy level and you are focused on your vision, all of that energy, people are naturally drawn to love and that high energy and vision and passion. Like people can feel your authenticity and will just follow and be like, yes, how can I do and have whatever it is that you have got? Like I'm aligned. And that's what that connection is what our beings are looking for. Our that deep soul genuinely gets to understand and experience. We love ourselves, and in loving ourselves, we connect with those around us.
Yeah, so beautiful. So beautiful. So I know you have a free gift for the audience. I'd love you to share your gift so that they can know how to check in with what you're giving and to get to know you even more.
I do, and I'm so excited. My workshop is, I'm doing a masterclass workshop on the 16th of December. It's totally free. Because especially in this time of year when everybody is working and focused out, we get to set some time apart and aside for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And the masterclass is exploring presence, the theory of you, how to love and find your authentic self, especially in this time where focusing out and holidays can be stressful and heavy and really, 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 really busy. Using our voice and being true to what we genuinely are feeling and experiencing is so important, so that we start 2022 off empowered and using our voice and fully in our love and connection. It's so December 16th at noon Pacific, exploring presence, the theory of you.
Yeah. And thank you. It sounds fantastic. And I want you all to know the links will be down below on the emails that you get. So every day you get an email with everybody's, whoever's the featured speaker. So when Janelle comes up, that is her amazing gift to you all. And thank you for that, Janelle, so much. And I want to thank the audience for being here and for all your willingness to look at yourself and to listen to us share our journeys and experiencing that. I mean, this was such an experiential moment just to experience Janelle's, amazing insights. It was just really powerful. And so any of you that are listening, we love your feedback. Please, let us know what you got from this, any insights, any help. And, please sign up for Janelle's workshop. And we are just so grateful that we love hearing from you. So you can connect on that ownyourdivinelight@gmail.com, which you'll see at the bottom. And also Janelle's will be there too, if you want to connect directly with her. So Janelle, I just want to thank you so much for stepping forward and embracing and owning your leadership and your empowerment through love, because I can just feel that love oozing from you, your courage, your persistence, your resilience has been so powerful. And, you're a huge beacon of light. I'm calling you the love beacon or beam, because you're a beacon for those struggling with self-empowerment and self-love. I know the road you've traveled, you've shared the road, and this unconditional love that you've learned, you've really embraced and embodied. You've consistently stepped through incredible challenges to become this essence of love beacon that I felt drawn to say about you, and to those who surround you and to who are drawn to you. So thank you so much for all that you have brought through today, and for empowering yourself through love. And
Thank you, Yara Atlantica. Your energy and the space that you create has been so inspirational, and not only inspirational, it's empowering. So thank you for being the love and the curiosity and the openness that we need, that we're looking for here on this planet.
Thank you. I really felt that. I received that so beautifully. Thank you so much. Thank you, Janelle. So as we harness this unconditional love of self and each other, and understand and recognize that we are all mirrors of each other, then we have empowered ourselves through love, and we get to move through into the next higher level of consciousness and claim our rightful place alongside our galactic brothers and sisters, and become the citizens of the universe we are meant to be. So thank you again for sharing your love, and for being empowered by love, Janelle. I am Yara Atlantica Miller, and I will see you all in our next experience of Empowered by Love.